Rob, I wanted Rob to come in because starting this Friday, hopefully, unless COVID continues to move through the Olympic Village, we're going to be seeing the Olympic coverage on Comcast. And so I wanted to have Rob talk a little bit about that. He's the senior PR director for the Heartland. Is it Michigan or the Heartland region?
Heartland region, which includes Indiana, Michigan, and Kentucky.
All right, so let's talk Olympics. What do we got?
Okay, well, we've got 5 new sports this year. I don't know if you gentlemen realize that. Baseball's back after a hiatus. There's skateboarding, karate, surfing, and climbing new this year. So that's going to be interesting.
Olympic sport. I like that. Okay.
well, listen to this. In 2024, the new sport will be breakdancing.
Seriously?
Seriously.
I think Matt is going to be on the breakdancing team for the U.S. because I've seen him on the dance floor. He's a phenom. So
well, and I'll tell you, it's funny how many of these things are sort of youth related. Because I saw BMX biking was added last Olympics or Olympics before that, one or the other.
Correct.
So, and that's the kind of thing that is beloved of 16-year-olds. Breakdancing, though, is kind of more of a Gen X thing, I thought. But hey, whatever, that's fine.
Whatever. It just makes more content to watch, and everyone can catch it on Xfinity.
Yeah.
We're bringing the games to more Xfinity customers than ever before, because we have a new way to watch it. Not only do we have X1, which is our TV service, and Xfinity Stream, which is TV on the mobile device, but we also have Xfinity Flex, which is for internet-only customers. So that's pretty cool this year.
Okay, so what does that offer in terms of programming choices?
So with Xfinity Flex, an internet customer can get a small 4K box, a voice remote like this one, and they'll also get a free subscription to Peacock, which is NBC Universal's streaming service. So what the box does, it aggregates all of the customer's other streaming services along with Peacock. So it's all together in one place on the TV. And what you get during the Olympics, you get 6 Olympic themed channels. You also get 4 live studio shows per day, live events including gymnastics, track and field, men's hoops, and a few more, tons of highlights, and everything, again, aggregated on one screen in the customer's home. And that's for internet-only customers.
So I was curious, since the Olympics are in Japan this time, which means that their evening prime time is our morning, what's going to be done in terms of tape delay or primetime viewing in America? Because, 8 o'clock our time is 8 in the morning their time, or 9 in the morning their time.
Yeah, it's a 13-hour difference. I think it's going to be, and I'm not for sure, but just in other Olympics that have a big time zone difference, the primetime show on NBC will have the best of the best events of the day. So I think that's a safe bet to say that's what's going to happen.
And so you're supposed to ignore the news. Don't turn on the news or the sports channel, because that'll be like a spoiler. Because obviously many of these things will have already been done and taken care of, and you want to, it's like recording a football game and then having someone tell you the score before you get a chance to watch the game, right?
Yeah, you're going to have to stay off Twitter too and Instagram, because you'll see results just about anywhere on your mobile device. You got to be in the bubble. You got to stay in the bubble, I guess.
Stay in the bubble. I like it.
Okay. Well, and we're all kind of on pins and needles about COVID too, right? Because who knows what's going to happen with that. I heard just this morning that there was a case on the U.S. gymnastics team. I wasn't sure. I didn't hear if it was men's or women's, but that's going to be something you're going to have to follow up to the second as well.
Absolutely. And you with X1 and Xfinity Stream, didn't get to mention this yet, but they're going to have 7,000 hours of content.
Oh my God.
And to put that, that's a huge number. So to put that in perspective, you guys know I'm a huge Tigers fan. And a Tigers baseball game lasts about 3 hours. So if you multiply that times 162 games per season, you'll come out to about a little less than 500 hours per season. So we would have to watch approximately the next 14 seasons of Tiger baseball to equal 7,000 hours of coverage.
Yeah,
I don't think they could even win the pennant in the next 14 years. But hey,
yeah,
that's
well,
just me,
you
so
never know. You never know.
you never
But
know.
I just did the math on that. 7,000 hours. That's 292 days of programming.
Yeah.
So, which is what, the better part of a year. It's 10 months or so, 9-10 months. So I guess I'm going to have to buy a bigger cable box or something to store more of this stuff.
Well, actually, it's all in the cloud, Matt, through X1. So
Okay.
we'll have all the highlights. We'll have all the vignettes of the top 30 athletes. We'll have previews, again, highlights. We'll have content such as all the gold moments, all the record-breaking moments, things like that. So those will all be stored on demand for you to watch anytime you want to get to that. You can also personalize it by sport or by athlete. So you can get notifications to your TV or to your mobile device about your favorite event. So if a COVID event does happen, you should be notified.
And how long is this stuff going to stay in the cloud? Clearly, I don't have the next 254 days to watch this 24 hours a day. Got to get some sleep in there somewhere. So is this just going to be available indefinitely for someone to view, or what?
I would assume it's going to be up for a few months after the games have ended. We have the Olympic Games ending on the 8th, I believe, and then we're broadcasting the Paralympics as well right after that. So that content will be left up on demand for a while.
All right. And then there was something else. I'm sorry, I didn't get a chance to look at the other press release, but I know you wanted to talk about two subjects.
Yeah. So the other thing is a pilot we just launched in Detroit, and Detroit is one of only 3 cities to do this pilot, and it's a senior digital literacy pilot. So as you know, everyone needs access to the internet, and it's a good bet that a lot of people know a senior who might need help navigating online.
Matt Roush, for instance, so.
All right, sure. Yeah.
So what we found during COVID and during lockdown, a lot of seniors who they couldn't get a connection to the outside world and to loved ones. And it could have been a lack of digital equipment or a lack of digital skills. We're not sure. So it's so important. It's vital to get to medical information, financial information, and government services. So we teamed up with OATS, which is Older Adults Technology Services, and AARP, and a few Detroit nonprofits to help bridge this digital divide. And what we're going to do is we're going to ask the nonprofits to help us ID 500 seniors in the city of Detroit and get them free Chromebooks. Okay. And then we're going to also donate $25,000 to these nonprofits to help them distribute the computers and also to help them distribute digital learning tools. So whether it be manuals, online training, anything to help seniors and older people, help them learn to navigate the internet better. And the goal of the pilot is to have the seniors use these tools for a year. And then at the end of the year, we'll collect all the data and find out the best way to help teach. And we'll spread that across the country.
Yeah, I'm on the Internet Advisor on WJR, and part of that show is people calling in to say, how do I do this? How do I do that? And largely that audience is a senior audience. So and Matt, we've been around technology for a long time. Even though we're both seniors, I kind of feel comfortable with it. But I know a lot of seniors who are. They just, basic stuff. I have a buddy in Grand Rapids who doesn't even have an internet connection because he's afraid of the internet, things like that.
Yeah. My mother-in-law's the same way. Yep.
What is the most consistent question you get about the internet from seniors? Just curious.
Well, it's even basic stuff like, they don't know what an app is. They don't know how to deal with apps. I mean, and everything's moving to the app world now versus, to your detriment, to not personally, but to Comcast. A lot of people are moving away from cable, cutting the cord, and they're going into apps. And so they don't even understand the basics of that stuff.
Right. Yeah, so that's the goal of this pilot program is to teach older adults, the best way to use the internet, the best way to get the value out of the internet to make it work for them. So we're really excited to start that. We started in May. The nonprofits that are helping us, I have them written down here, are the Detroit Area Agency on Aging, the Detroit Housing Commission, Focus Hope, Matrix Human Services, the St. Patrick's Senior Center, and then also Detroit's Connect 313, Human IT, and then there are two other partners, Team Wellness Center and Aetna Better Health of Michigan. So they're helping us distribute these computers to seniors. And also, I failed to mention, the seniors will get to use Internet Essentials for $9.95 per month.
Wow.
And free for the first 6 months. So really want to get these devices and the service into their hands.
Sure.
Absolutely. All right. And you're also continuing to work with students, I know, in terms of making sure they have access and equipment.
Yeah. So Internet Essentials for low-income families, that helps students, $9.95 per month. You also get, I think it's free to the end of the year for students right now, end of 2021. Also, if a person lives in a HUD housing, they're eligible. Veterans that are low income are eligible as well. So we're expanding the program, and that's why, again, we're doing this senior pilot to see if we can expand it there as well.
Yeah, one of the big bugaboos, particularly in Detroit, is the fact that there's just lack of internet connection in that particular population. Now, I haven't seen in the latest numbers, but the last numbers I saw were 40% of the population in Detroit was not connected to the internet. So certainly programs like this are aimed at addressing the digital divide issue, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I can tell you, in Detroit, Comcast, we service the entire city. I don't know if it's an adoption problem more than an access problem, but I know a lot of people are on their cell phones using the internet. So Detroit is a key population we want to get connection to.
Yeah,
absolutely. So where do you see this going in terms of, I mean, it is sort of continuing the atomization of the media with, first it was 30 channels, and then it was 100 channels, and then it was 500 channels, and now it's 7,000 hours of programming, anything you think you could possibly imagine. At one point, do we reach where everybody has their own channel? That's what I really want to know.
I can't wait for the Rob Ponto channel. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd even watch that. So I think what it is there are so many choices available that it comes down to tools to help with personalization. As I mentioned with our Olympic coverage, you can set timers, you can set favorites, and be notified when your content, the content that you want to watch, is ready to go and to be watched. So yeah, there's a ton of content out there and a ton of channels, but I think we're coming back to making it about you and what you want to watch, and using tools to make that happen.
All right, we got about a minute left. Why don't you talk a little bit about, so you got everybody all interested in this information, and how do they reach out to you guys to get that information?
Yeah, so again, internet-only customers can use Xfinity Flex. All of our other customers have X1 or Xfinity Stream. The Olympics start on Friday. Opening ceremonies will be broadcast that night. And 4K too, if you have a 4K TV, you can see it that way as well. So you can either go to Xfinity.com or call us at 1-800-XFINITY.